Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rapid Subconscious Reprogramming. Today, we're going to talk about forgiveness, but as it says here, we're going to talk about forgiveness in a very different way that what most people out there are talking about. And as you know, I like to talk about controversial things. I've been in this journey for now 14 years. And I have worked with thousands of people around the world. I have been able to study many people out there. And when I say things, I like backing them up. So I would really, really like you to come with an open heart, open mind to this training so that it can really help you. There's a lot of people out there struggling with forgiveness, not being able to feel good about themselves, right? Because another person might have hurt them and they never said they never said they were sorry. So forgiveness is a very big thing that I see out there that most people are struggling, right? And are in a way dealing it in not the most efficient way. So let's get going with this. Let me change the camera for a second so you can see my face. So a very different way to see forgiveness. So I'm going to start with this example. It sounds a little bit basic, but it's important. Imagine that I do something to help you, right? If you have a big grocery bag and it's a little bit heavy and I help you, or if you lost your kid and in the mall and we're walking around and I help you find your kid, would you expect me to say, I'm sorry if I'm helping you out with something, right? Whether it is, taking a grocery bag and helping put in your car, or maybe looking to find your son that you lost him in the mall and we found your son, right? Would you expect me to say, I'm sorry, right? I know it sounds weird what I'm saying, but it's important to understand the context because then I'm going to move into the area that is going to be a little bit challenging. So normally you wouldn't expect anybody to say they are sorry if they're helping you out with something. So that is the first thing. If somebody's helping you out, you wouldn't expect them to say that they're sorry about their actions, right? In another sense, I want to bring something I have said in the past too that is also connected with this is you need to understand that as adults, nobody can hurt you emotionally or mentally. Physically is different, but emotionally or mentally, nobody can hurt you. What does that mean? That if somebody says something that bothers you, it is actually because you believe that in the first place. Yes, let me say that again. When somebody says something that bothers you, in most cases is because you, deep down in your mind, most of the times in the subconscious mind, you believe it. Because, as I always say, if somebody calls me Baldy and look at the amount of hair that I have, right, it wouldn't affect me because I have so much hair that it wouldn't hurt me if somebody calls me Baldy. Right? If somebody calls me fat, it wouldn't affect me because I have no issues with those things. But if somebody says something that bothers you, it's because actually there is something in there that you believe in. Whether it was that people, treated you badly at school, at home, when you were a kid, and they said things that this person might be saying nowadays. So you need to understand that the person that is hurting you is you. Because if somebody attacks me and says something, it's what I do with what that person is telling me. It's not actually what that person is telling me or that person per se. It's me hurting me. If there is a robber, right, a guy that wants to rob me, right, and is outside of my house and I don't open the door, I lock all the windows, there's no way for him to come in, he's not going to be able to steal anything from me. But if I open the door, it was me opening the door. That analogy works exactly for the mind. You can only be hurt by yourself. So now I want to connect the first part with this second part. And it's very important that you recognize that you are hurting yourself. As you find it difficult to believe, it's fine. Don't get me wrong, right? but it has to do with you. Nobody can hurt you emotionally or mentally. It doesn't mean that, I have everything figured out. Some people might say something, I might not move things inside of me. Of course it does. But I try to own it and understand what I am telling myself to make myself feel bad. So going back to what I said at the beginning, if somebody does something to help you, very nice, right? They do something, to help you, as, moving groceries, moving something is heavy, finding your kid that you lost in the mall, right? You wouldn't expect them, if they helped you, to say that they're sorry, right? So if they did something to help you, you wouldn't expect a sorry for them. There's no need for forgiveness. On the other hand, if you're starting to understand a little bit, maybe, that you are the only one hurting yourself and that nobody can hurt you emotionally or mentally. Hey, Romana, hey, Suzanne, nobody can hurt you emotionally or mentally, that you're hurting yourself. Now, again, there is no forgiveness. Forgiveness is not okay. Why not? Because if I expect somebody to say that they're sorry for something they did to me, when actually I hurt myself, it is BS. Why should I, in a way, wait for somebody to say that they're sorry about something they did, that it affected me and that I hurt myself? If imagine that one of you bring me a hammer, and with a hammer, I hit my hand with a hammer, and then I look at you and say, hey, you should say you're sorry. You're going to be like, what, Tommy? Why should I be sorry about you hitting the hammer over your hand? So we got to be very careful with what I'm saying, because a lot of people might use this against, might change this content, saying that this is typically something coming from a narcissist person or somebody that has narcissistic traits, because they're going to say things and then they're going to say, oh, if it hurts you, it's up to you, it's not up to me. No, don't get me wrong. Let's not take this out of context, where if somebody says something like that, right, they still have their own, issues that they have to deal with. But you need to understand that if it hurts, it's you hurting yourself. So if you're waiting for somebody to say that they're sorry for you to feel better, we got a problem. And this is what I want you to understand. We have a big problem because we go through life expecting everybody that hurt us to come eventually and say that they're sorry. So our happiness, our mood, our behaviors, or whatever that is tied up with that is going to be a problem. Because unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people out there that don't give a crap, that they might have said things that were nasty, that you use then against yourself, and they're never going to own what they did. That's on them. Is it okay? Of course not. I don't go through life hurting others and that's just saying like, oh, that's up to you if it hurts. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm trying to do, people, here is help you become responsible of your life. If you're waiting for somebody to say they're sorry for you to feel good, you're giving your power away. So the truth is, forgiveness shouldn't exist for you expecting somebody else to say that they're sorry. Because as I just said, if you said something that I hurt myself with, that's on me, not on you. Of course, it's not okay to just go out there and say whatever you want, not expecting others to hurt themselves because of their unresolved issues. That's what I mean. We got to be very careful with what I'm saying. I was very doubtful about bringing this conversation up because I knew a lot of people could take it the wrong way. I was in many narcissistic relationships, and I felt the victim. And it was painful to understand that I was hurting myself, not another person, and that I had to stop doing that. When I start understanding that it's me hurting me, there's no forgiveness. There's no need for forgiveness. Because actually, when somebody says something that, quote unquote, hurts me because I hurt myself, it could be an opportunity to find a part of you that needs healing, So if we start seeing the bigger picture, somebody might be pointing out something that you need to see. Again, I'm not saying to go there and start doing it on purpose, saying whatever you want and, being a jerk to others because that's their fault if they feel hurt. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But at least if it happens that you say something to somebody else or somebody says something without really wanting to hurt you, not doing it on purpose, take it as a blessing. They are helping you see something that you need to see. Imagine that I have a cut in my back and I don't see it. And somebody comes over and says, Tommy, you got a cut in my back. Where? I don't see it. You got to do pressure. And I'm going to do pressure to myself, right? And the person starts showing me and I still don't get it. And the person touches me and says, hey there, Tommy, oh, what did you do? And now I feel like the victim because, oh, you hurt me. Instead of saying, hey, thank you. Now I know where the pain is. Now I can take care of the pain. Now I can stop the bleeding or do something about it. So if we start seeing that when people, whether it is with bad intention, that it's not okay, right? Or somebody says something to us that bothers us, we need to own that it's us hurting ourselves. So now if we see life from that point of view, we become co-creators. We become co-creators with the universe, with God. We become creators in our own life, with our own moods, with our own happiness, with our own success. It is up to us and nobody else. Unfortunately, a lot of people out there are living a life expecting for their mom to say they're sorry, for their dad to say they're sorry, for a friend that hurt them to say they're sorry, for their boss to say they're sorry. And we live our life expecting others to say they're sorry so that we can feel better, so that we can, talk to them again, maybe, or whatever. We need to understand that many times people do things not on purpose, again, not purposely, but in a way to show us, as if we believe in the universe, why would we allow negative things? Why would the universe allow negative things to happen? Because maybe we need to deal with these unresolved issues within us. If I believe that I'm stupid and somebody calls me stupid and I feel really disrespected by that, it means that I believe in it and I need to work on it so that next time if somebody says something like that, it doesn't affect me as much. And as I keep working, it affects me less and less and less and less. The other day, a guy started attacking me over a phone call, right? He was interested in my work. We started talking. And suddenly he just lost it and started attacking me really bad, saying that I had no idea what I was talking about, that my certificates were BS, that I was, hurting people more than helping. And he was attacking me really bad. And I was able to stay, okay with his attack because I knew that what he was saying was not true. How many times have people attacked you and you felt so crappy about it that it affected you for a week or month or whatever, right? It happens a lot, yes, that we're affected by what others say, and then we walk along our life carrying that garbage, not realizing that it many times has nothing to do with us, that many times people are projecting on us their unresolved issues. So we need to understand these things, because if not, we're giving our power away and thinking that our happiness, our fulfillment, or whatever will be given by others. And unfortunately, we need to understand that most people around us have unresolved issues, including everyone, right? Me too. We all have unresolved issues. If we have unresolved issues and I'm resolving them, of course I go, and I'm doing this so I can help more people resolve their own issues too. Whenever we're expecting forgiveness from somebody else, we're tying ourselves to that person. Our own life depends on the other person. So we got to be more aware of these things so that we can eventually live a more happy life by understanding that it's up to me and nobody else. Again, if I grab a hammer and I hammer myself because you lend me the hammer, it's not your fault, it's mine. So again, I am hurting myself. So if I can own this, I can start working on changing it. But if I keep blaming others for my mood changes, for my unhappiness, for my frustration, from my unfulfillment, unfortunately, I will never be able to overcome this, because you're always, always, always going to find people around you that they're not going to make you feel worthy, that they're not going to make you feel lovable, accepted, understood, listened, or whatever. So yes, many gurus out there tell you to walk away from those people. Yeah, you can do that, but you cannot walk away from you. You cannot walk away from you, and you are the main person hurting yourself. So even if it's in silence or by having other people that are acting out what you're doing to yourself, and that's what I believe in God, I believe in the universe. So when somebody comes my way and says something that triggers me, I need to understand that it's me, and that it's a blessing in disguise. It's an opportunity to be able to grow, to be able to overcome that belief that I have about myself and become more my true self. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you can use this to stop blaming others so that you can own this. Again, it doesn't mean that it's okay for a narcissistic person to go out there and do whatever they want. Don't get me wrong. Please don't take out of this, out of context what I'm saying. Hey, Susan, thank you for stopping by. Bineta, Powell, thank you for listening. I got some people there on social media too. So it's not about getting this out of context. What I'm saying is it's not okay, people that are out there saying whatever they want, trying to hurt others, trying to bring down others. No, it's not okay. But if it happens, you need to understand that it's up to you and only you to change that story. It's an opportunity to say, okay, what Suzanne said, it bothered me. What Tommy said bothered me. Okay, why did it bother me? Did anybody make me feel like this as a kid? Why is this bothering me? Start exploring to understand. So when we truly understand this, that nobody can hurt you, you can hurt yourself, the word forgiveness fades away. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm still figuring things out. I'm not saying that I'm always here. But what I'm sharing with you people is another way to live your life, not as a victim mode where people are hurting you, more as a creator in your life where you are hurting yourself, and you can change that. I cannot change what other people think or say about me. This guy that I hung up the phone, he ended up saying, at the end of the phone call, I couldn't help him change his mind. He ended up saying that I was a scammer, that I was a liar, that I didn't know what I was talking about, that I was hurting people, I was making, making a lot of money out of, people's pain. And it was all a lie. But you know what? I cannot change his mind. He can change his mind. I tried helping him see things in another way, and he wasn't open to it. So you know what? I'm sorry for him. Go your way, I'll go my way, gone. But if it hurts, it's because I'm hurting myself. So why should my mood, my happiness be tied up with somebody telling him or her that they're sorry? I can become the creator in my life and understand that forgiveness doesn't truly exist. As I said at the beginning, I wouldn't need to forgive somebody that helped me with something. Sorry, the other way around. Somebody that helped me shouldn't say to me, I'm sorry, Tommy, if they help me with something. So if a person is saying something that hurts me, why forgiveness? Why sorry if they are truly helping me? Whether a purpose that it shouldn't be okay, don't get me wrong, or whether they said something that they didn't even mean to say. You know how many times I said something to friends or to family or to even to my partner, and she was like, what? Why did you say that? I'm like, what? Sorry, I didn't mean that, but it didn't come out correctly. So again, I said I'm sorry, don't get me wrong, because I'm okay saying I'm sorry, but it shouldn't be like that. The other person should be able to understand that they are hurting themselves. I hope that makes sense. I hope this truly helps become more the creators in your life and not depend on others. Because whether you walk away from somebody that they didn't say they're sorry, right? Or whether you stay expecting them to say that they're sorry, your mood, your life is going to depend now on that person, and then on another person, then another person, then another person. And we connect our life to others, expecting others to behave like we think they should behave. Listen to this. How many times have you wanted somebody to behave in a specific way so that you would feel good about yourself or that you wouldn't feel bad about yourself? You're tying yourself up to others. That is not freedom, people. If you walk away from people that supposedly hurt you, that is not freedom. You're doing it out of pain. And you're not free because you're still hurting yourself. And if you stay waiting for them to say they're sorry, you're still hooked up. That is not freedom either. True freedom is when you're able to realize that you're creating this, that you're creating the pain, heal, transform, grow. And that is, for me, true freedom. So I hope this makes sense. Let me know on social media if you're watching, #live if you're watching live, #replay if you're watching replay. If you're enjoying this, let me know. I would love to hear something about this. I know it's a difficult topic. I know a lot of people struggle with this, right? It's not about saying that it's okay if a person is acting in a narcissistic way and attacking somebody else. No, I'm not saying it's okay. What I'm saying is, what can I do to change that within me? If somebody's attacking me, what power do I have over this? I don't have a power over the other person. Yes, I can set boundaries. I can walk away if you want to, but how am I hurting myself is what's the most powerful thing there is. What you have power over, what you can change. And this is what I've been teaching for many years. And I'm going to keep teaching. I'm going to talk about very difficult topics like this one again. Expecting somebody to say they're sorry for you to feel good is not good for you. If it happens, great. But if it doesn't, you're going to feel like crap and you're going to carry that around. And you're not, in a way, dealing with how you are hurting yourself. So again, I hope that makes sense. Let me know here in the chat if this is making sense, if you're liking this, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please let me know. Again, I know it's a difficult topic. I'm coming out of love. I'm not supporting people that go out there and try to hurt others. Not alone. That's not okay. But it's important for us to regain our power. If we keep giving it away, we're going to live a miserable life. So thank you very much for watching on social media. I'm going to stay now on Zoom with the rest of the people here. So thank you again. Let me know down here. I see some people watching on social media. If you're watching, if you're liking this, if you're not liking it, let me know why you're not liking this. And I'll try to give you some more insight and things to help you out. So thank you very much again. Hope you have a great week. Take care, people. Bye.